Hey guys, it's Dr. April Lynch coming to you from Bluegrass Veterinary Hospital here in Gallatin, Tennessee. And today I have some safety tips to keep your pet healthy and happy this summer for some fun in the sun. So, one very common thing that we see in the warmer months is called heat stroke. And it's actually one of the most common emergencies that we have at our hospital during the summertime. Heat stroke is when a pet is no longer able to regulate their body temperature through their normal heat dissipation. And dogs and cats, unlike people, they don't sweat. They have a few sweat glands on the bottom of their feet, but otherwise they primarily expel heat through panting. And oftentimes that just becomes inefficient when the weather is hot or when they're inside of a vehicle. So heat stroke is defined as the inability to regulate their heat and when their body temperature rises above normal. So normally the body temperature of a dog or cat is between 100 and 102 degrees Fahrenheit. In heat stroke, it can get to 104 degrees or even higher. And this can lead to a lot of problems and ultimately in damage to the internal organs. One of the most common scenarios in which an animal presents for heat stroke is after being left in a vehicle during the summer months. And this is definitely concerning. It's strange to think about, but the temperature inside your vehicle can actually soar to 160 degrees in just 5 minutes if the temperature outside is 90 degrees or above. So even leaving them in there with the windows down or with the air conditioning on for any amount of time is definitely not recommended and can be very dangerous to their health. Signs of heat stroke in your pet: if you see them panting excessively, their heart rate might be bounding, they will be nauseous, and this will present as either drooling or vomiting. They will have weakness, collapse, and possibly even seizures. If you notice these symptoms, it is important to contact your veterinarian or an emergency clinic in the area that is open at the time immediately and make arrangements to have them seen as soon as possible. This can be a life and death situation, and it is crucial to have them seen and cooled immediately. So when it comes to heat stroke, prevention is really key. And so one thing to think about is when the ambient temperature outside is 80 degrees or above, there is a concern that heat stroke can be a factor, especially if your animal is particularly active when they are outside. So some recommendations for this would be to keep them inside during the warmer days. If your dog prefers to have a walk every day or some sort of exercise in the yard, try to do so during the morning or in the evening after the sun goes down when the temperature outside is cooler. Definitely providing your pet with adequate shade and shelter is important, and increasing hydration in the summertime can also help with this issue. Most dogs love ice cubes. I know people like to get pup cups. You can give them frozen vegetables, really just speaking with your veterinarian about what is best for your pet. But all of these things can help keep your pet safe in the summertime and in the warmer months and prevent this type of problem. Other quick tips for the summertime and things to consider are that pets are prone to thermal burns. So walking on the pavement, even at times when it doesn't feel particularly hot to us, can actually burn their foot pads. So one way to quickly and easily test to see if the pavement is cool enough for your pet to take a walk is to place the back of your hand against the pavement and see if you can hold it there comfortably for 7 seconds. If you can, then the temperature of the pavement is safe enough for your pet to take a walk. If you cannot, then it's not a good time for your pet to take a walk, and you probably need to keep them inside. You can also consider finding trails that are grassy on the turf or other places, but the concrete and the asphalt are definitely a concern, and oftentimes we see pets with blisters and burns on the bottom of their feet. Sunburn is also something that we see in pets, and a lot of people don't think about that because animals are covered in hair. However, pets that are white and don't have as much pigment or have a pink nose, pink ears, will need to have some protection on their skin if they spend much time outside. So there's sunblock that is made specifically for dogs. We do usually recommend a zinc-based product. They also make sun shirts and different types of accessories that dogs and cats can wear that have SPF in them. But fair-skinned animals with white hair or very little hair on their bellies and their ear tips and their nose can get sunburn, and they can actually get skin cancer as well, dogs and cats both. And lastly, another hazard that is oftentimes overlooked or not thought about in the summertime by owners is the water hose. So when your water hose is sitting out in the sun, the water inside the hose that is stored there can quickly heat up. And when you first turn it on, it can burn your pet who is attempting to run through the hose or take a bath or get a drink. So make sure that if you have a water hose sitting outside, that when you turn it on, for the safety of yourself and your pets, that you adequately run the water through the hose and then test it to make sure that it's cool enough to be used without burning anyone. So I hope these tips have been useful to you. Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel so you can catch us in the future for more upcoming educational videos. And until next time, we'll catch y'all later.